Thank you very much. I just want to say that the variable rate issue, I think we hashed out, and we're, all in agreement. We have to do something there. I just want to point out another issue, the choice issue with electric deregulation, which most of us, senior members at least, voted for, and I stand behind, what we did at that point. But, what seems to have been lost in the whole issue is that if you stay with your present supplier, PP&L or PICO or whoever, you haven't made a choice. That's lost in this whole argument. And I do know in Philadelphia with PICO, not necessarily in Philadelphia, but they had thousands of people that had left PICO for another supplier, then came back. I mean, they made a choice to come back to PICO. But we've just seemed to, have lost the sense that if you decide, if I want to stay with PP&L, I made a choice. But that's lost in the whole argument. And I don't know how, if you agree with me or not, but it's just not there.
I agree with you 100% that people can choose to stay on default service, and there are many people who have shopped and haven't found something that suits their needs, so they choose to stay where they are. So I agree with you. The fact that people are on default service is not at all a failing of default service or of the legislation that we passed.
And Representative Godshall, Chairman Godshall, the choice in Pennsylvania, I think, is a good thing overall. In fact, we are #2 in the country as far as consumers and businesses who take advantage of it, right behind Texas. So we're recently been cited as #2 in participation. So a lot of the public is getting it, but again, I think that the default service issue is part of that legislation in that Senate bill that has caused some contention among many as to, do we want to take away that price to compare and force people to a default service provider that they aren't necessarily choosing? And that is, to your point, where they may choose to have the provider that they've been with for many years, are happy with that provider, and want to stay there.
And they made a choice to be with that provider, and that's one of the major problems I have with that Senate Bill 1121. You're taking away my ability to choose. And so, I know if there's going to be changes made, and that and so forth, I'd like to see them. But that's a major issue that I have there. And as I said, I think in this whole argument, the fact that I choose to stay with my present default supplier is not a choice, which I totally disagree with. So thank you for your participation.
Thank you.